The Pegasus is part of the Science Museum's permanent collections because it's such an important machine. It's not the first, but it is the machine that really shows what it was like when this industry was first being built up and created. So this is the machine that was actually really important for users. This is the machine that tried to address many of the very early issues about how you actually work with a computer.
Pegasus is a machine which offers to scientists and designers a practical new tool for their work. A tool which offers opportunities of opening up entirely new fields of endeavor and investigation.
After the Second World War, there were a handful of computers developed across Britain, and people had begun to realise that there was actually a range of uses for these machines. Ferranti were an electrical engineering company that had started in the 19th century, but during the Second World War they'd got very interested in defence electronics, and then in 1956 they went on to create the Pegasus Computer. The Pegasus Computer did all sorts of very, very rapid calculation. Anything that needed number crunching, very high speed, repetitive calculation, aircraft engineering for the structure and stresses on bridges. The actual computer behind me was used at University College London for looking at the structure of molecules.
Pegasus is completely automatic. It can be programmed to give a signal when it has completed any stages of its operation.
As a member of the Computer Conservation Society of UK, for many years we have been privileged to allow to put this on public display, not only for our own enjoyment but for the enjoyment of the public that visit it.
The general public are fascinated when they see it working. They normally would just walk past it, and the number of people who come up to us and say, "Oh, my father worked on this," or "My uncle worked on one of these machines," and show an immense interest. And even the children are interested when it's working because they've never seen anything like this.
I wrote several programs. Perhaps the favourite was the child giving me their date of birth, or mum giving me their date of birth, and through the programme I could tell them which day of the week they were born. So I was keen to try and show the younger generation, if you like, the sort of thing that this beast could do.
The Pegasus needed very little maintenance. Since it wasn't used on a daily basis, it was subject to a certain number of dry joints, and you'd have to replug a package, just take it out and put it back in again. It's that sort of thing.
It was a very successful machine, worked extremely well, had something like a 98.5% reliability, and in fact, as a maintenance engineer, it was a doddle of a job.
This machine, of course, dates from the 1950s, long before personal computers and laptops and so on. So the technology used in this old machine inevitably meant that this had to be large. But on the other hand, it was pioneering.
It is very, very easy in this day and age to forget these first generation computers. Computers of this type have very specific lessons which can be learnt by younger generations. This machine has been not only fun to maintain, but it's been fun to demonstrate.
The Pegasus computer will be going into storage. This in no way means it's the end of this machine's life. We have thousands of objects that we keep in storage, but it will certainly be preserved by the Science Museum, and therefore anyone who wants to do research with it, who wants to come and see it, it's possible. So it's very much still part of our collections and an important object for the museum.
It's another case where the computer pays off well because it's used to do everything possible in the business.